I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
For those who are listening, like, it's time to expand your knowledge base. It's time to expand your skill base and get with the times and learn.
Welcome back, folks. We're on episode 61 of It's About Your Paycheck. Today, we're talking about negotiating your salary. Can't read the whole thing. Getting what you're worth.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So before we get into it, what's up, Walt?
What's up, man? Happy day to you, sir. How was New York, man? You had a good time? You ate some good food? Saw some loved ones?
Yeah, all that. Yo.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it was dope, man. Glad I went, but I'm glad I'm back home. I got friggin' flights with delayed, just don't fly out of JFK, man. And they said it was like, it's a little weather and there's a little traffic. Just, what do they call it? Tarmac, runway traffic.
Okay. So how many airports? I know I've heard of JFK. I've heard of LaGuardia.
LaGuardia, yep.
Is there another one?
Yeah, technically there are 2 more in the area. One is not in New York, but Newark is close enough. If you really saved a lot on the ticket, some folks will fly into Newark.
Okay.
Because it's close enough if you save enough money. And then there's another small one out in Long Island called MacArthur. But that's if you can get a flight directly there and you're going to Long Island, then that's where you fly in and out of. But my mom lives right by LaGuardia, so I can do LaGuardia. I clearly wasted time, but saved money on flying back home from JFK.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I don't think it was the savings of money. It gave me a later flight because I wanted more time. Yeah, I just wanted to leave later in the day, but whatever.
That's a perfect segue, man. Look at that. That's the financial fitness challenge stuff there.
Yes.
You saved a little bit of money and some time. Maybe you got more time with your family.
Yeah, got more time with the family. Yep.
Because sometimes one thing we don't realize is that time is also a currency.
That's right.
And we get less and less of it every day that passes.
Bro, sorry. We're talking about how time flies, man, and it's going to pass anyway. So,
yes, sir.
Take it. But yeah, financial fitness challenge. I'm still going strong. We're just steady knocking things out. On a personal tip, I was trying out a new Wi-Fi. Considered even keeping 2 Wi-Fis, and because we have lags here and there, and or switching because it was a little cheaper. But so I was trying it, and it was one of those things that I could have easily been like, just keep paying the bill and forget about it and whatever. I was like, no, I had it on my board. I can scratch it off now because I just canceled it. Yep, I just canceled it and scratched that off and get that savings back, get that bread back. Same thing again we did the same thing with my daughter's tutoring. We were paying a tutor for her, help her in math, which is a little expensive. And I don't think she was getting her were getting the return on investment. And her school just offered a free camp for them.
Wow. See?
So, boom, while she's in that camp, if she needs it again, she needs it again. It is what it is. But for now, we can save because she's getting it a free resource. Like a lot. So again, like it's how we just said, how we do anything is how we do everything. So now it's like I'm applying it to every decision, Yeah. Walt just shared with us on the different recording just now that he's making these decisions and it's affecting all his decisions and all the things.
Yeah.
Me too. And
yes, because what it is being more disciplined, if I speak to it. So as I'm becoming more disciplined in this area, it's like contagious, right? I see more discipline in other areas too, right? I'm not saying I don't have my fun and my time and stuff like that, but
of course,
it's way more disciplined than I have been these last couple of years.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's what it's about, because it does take a bit of discipline and intention if you want to be fit in any area, whether it's mental, physical, financial. Yeah, man. Just, and again, being intentional about it. Yes. Making good stuff. Man, what about you?
Man, that's it, bro. Same thing. We just spoke to it.
Same thing. Gotcha. Roger that. All right, what you got for us on the news tip?
So I just found an article by the World Economic Forum,
Okay.
and it was talking about the fastest growing and declining jobs.
Ooh,
Uh,
you shared that. I'm glad you did it because I saw the post today that you shared. I was
yeah,
like, damn, that's a good one. We got to talk about that.
yeah.
So,
And so I'm not gonna go. It has 15 for each
oh, damn.
category, so I'm not gonna go through each of them.
The link will
But
be in the show notes. But yeah,
the link
give us
will be
like
in the
what,
show notes.
top 5 for each?
Top 5 for each. So
Cool.
fastest growing jobs. Number 1 is the big data specialist, which I don't know what it
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know what big data specialist is. I don't know. Fi
We could, yeah.
Fintech engineers.
I don't know what that is, but okay. Yeah,
Right.
we can make some guesses here and easy to look up. Go ahead.
Number 3 is AI and machine learning specialists. Number 4 is software and application developers. Number 5 is security management specialists.
Yeah,
And
like
then
that.
I'll give you a bonus. I'll give you a bonus. Number 6 is data warehousing specialist. A lot of it is around
Data.
AI,
It
tech,
all sounds like it's around
right?
data. Yep.
So the fastest declining jobs, number 1 is postal service clerks.
Ooh.
Number 2 is
Yeah.
bank tellers and related clerks. Number three is data entry clerks. Number 4 is cashiers and ticket clerks. Number 5 is administrative assistants and executive secretaries.
Ugh.
I'm gonna give you 2 more in this
Yeah,
category.
no doubt. It's
And
worth it.
number 6 is printing and related trade workers. And then number
Yeah.
7 is accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks.
Dude, yes. Yes. That's a really great list.
Yep.
And it's something that we've been speaking to. It's time to retool.
Yes,
It's
bro. You've been
right.
saying like
Yeah.
the way we process, the way we do our payroll jobs in the future. If you're in the payroll industry, you're listening to this,
Gonna
are you
change.
interested? It's going to change, right?
Mhm.
So we need to learn other skills and adapt
Mhm.
to the ever changing landscape that is the job market, so we can stay relevant. Because man, like
It's
you said it, bro. The
it's a really
payroll,
great list. No, this is it's on point too
yeah,
because one of the last shows I just said I'm feeling for the people who are getting laid off in the thousands and the whatever be these big layoffs at the government level. But a lot
yeah.
of those folks are doing those jobs on the bottom decreasing list and they need to shift to the fastest growing list.
So look, there's some more stuff in here. I'm just gonna read it really quick
Oh
because
no,
I'm
go for
passionate.
it. No, it's worth it. Go ahead.
So look, it says it's about the job declining, declining jobs, right? So it says that the digital access industry is expected to create 19 million jobs by 2030, 5 years,
Wow.
but it's going to replace 9 million jobs.
Hear that? It's SpringFest savings calling your name, only at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower. Plus, get your choice of any 2 bags of Miracle-Gro organic soil mix for only $16. Shop these can't-miss deals in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Hawaii.
But just on the numbers, it's a good number. 9 million gone, 19 million created.
And yes, and it says AI and data processing alone will create 11 million jobs and replace 9 million. So that's another 9 million jobs.
But 11 million to replace it with.
Yes, yes,
So that's numbers in our favor as humans, as people in the workforce that want to be in the work, that want to build businesses even.
yes. And it's talking about robots and automation is on here too. And
Absolutely.
it's forecasted to replace 5 million more jobs.
But no, oh, wait. Yeah. No other part of that. 5 million gone.
Yeah. It says 5 million more jobs than they create. So say it creates 10 million, it's going to replace 15
Eliminate.
million.
Okay. Okay. Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, man. Here's the thing, right? If you're resourceful, if you're thinking, hey, maybe you start buying you get into the point where you can lease these
Yes,
robots
bro.
out.
Look, and this is what it said. This is the most important key factor for those of you listening and for us, right? Because as we grow and we expand our businesses and the podcasts and stuff that we have,
Yep.
look, the report says that 39% of key skills are expected to change by 2030, and that
Yeah.
tech skills are projected to grow in importance more rapidly than any other in the next 5 years.
Yeah. Facts. This is one of the greatest articles that we've shared in here for months, and I'm not gonna say the greatest, but it's definitely on point. 'Cause we share a lot of good info, right?
Yeah,
This one
bro.
right here is really good for the moment that we're in. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
bro. It, it,
That's what
it-
makes it good.
it's for me. It's a wake up call, right?
Yes.
Like, for those who are listening, like it's time to expand your knowledge base. It's time to expand your skill base and get with the times and learn. Hey, I need to change because, bro, our industry, the industry we're in, is
Gonna
on that list.
change.
It's in the
It's gonna
top 10.
change. It's gonna change. I keep telling folks, people want to argue me on LinkedIn about it, and I'm happy to argue the point, and I'm glad that people feel a way about it, but it's there's no way that it's not gonna reduce payroll. You just like you just said, payroll clerks are on that list.
Yep.
It's gonna reduce the department. You got a big department, it's gonna drop a little bit.
Absolutely.
They just gotta
Absolutely.
retool because now, hey, guess what? You're a key candidate to go be a data something
Yep.
payroll wise on a new job.
Yep. And look. So they're gonna bring so if I had two employees that cost me $100,000, and you're telling me that I can save half of that, at least half of that, by
At
switching to an
least.
automation or an AI product or something
Yep.
that can do that and do the job
Yep.
better, potentially
And
better.
it's even more because having people is it's we should do that on a show. Like, no, I think we have actually talked about, but still, it's not just what I pay you in salary.
Oh, it's more. Yeah.
It's more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's more. If I have to replace you, what you had shared that stat with us, like
Yeah.
400% or some
Yeah.
craziness on
Yeah.
how much it costs to replace one person in a human with like, yeah. But again, it's in our favor still. Those numbers that you shared about what it's going to create and replace are still in our
Mhm.
favor. Yeah, that's a really good one. That link is definitely going to be in the show notes, folks.
Yes, it is.
Is just that's a really good one for this for us. Yeah, too. Oh, and a little good nugget that we should. Ooh, that's a good little clip that we can make.
Okay. Yes,
Boom,
sir.
boom. Yeah, could even be a part one, part two.
Yes, sir. I could.
15 growing, and then part two of 15 declining.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, and it could tell like always we stay in sync with some of this stuff sometimes because what I wanted to share was the unemployment rate. What does the
Wow.
unemployment rate
I know.
mean? What it
Yeah.
means. People
Yeah.
think, "Oh, unemployment rate is down or up." But again, again, in the research preparing, I was like, "Yeah, but what does it really mean?" And I found some things that it's a long drawn out definition, but I'll try to move as quickly as I can through it. The unemployment rate is a key economic indicator that represents the percentage of individuals in the labor force who are jobless, actively seeking employment, and available to work. It's calculated by dividing the number of unemployed individuals by the total labor force and multiplying it by 100. So unemployment rate equals number of unemployed individuals
Mhm.
divided by labor force. Sounds like, okay, repeat that. Okay. Key components is unemployed individuals, those who do not have a job, have actively looked for work in the prior 4 weeks and are currently available for work. That's
Mhm.
unemployed individuals. Labor force, the sum of employed and unemployed individuals age 16 and over who are not in institutions, prisons, or nursing homes, and are not on active duty in armed forces. The significance of the unemployment rate is a rising unemployment rate may indicate economic downturns,
Yep.
while a declining rate often suggests economic expansion. Our rate is currently at 4.1%. Policy
Yeah.
decisions. Government and central banks monitor the unemployment rate to guide fiscal and monetary policies aimed at achieving full employment and controlling inflation, which
Yeah.
we're suffering from an inflation right now. The social impact. High unemployment can lead to a reduced consumer spending, increased reliance on social assistance programs, and broader social challenges.
Yeah.
So beyond, I like this. I like this.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this next one thing here. And again, the link will be, oh no, this is not a link. I'm gonna have to share this stuff separately
Okay.
because it's like a bunch of different links. Or it'll be in the show notes, but it's just not gonna be one link, folks. Sorry.
Okay.
So alternative measures of unemployment. So beyond the official unemployment rate, other metrics provide additional insights. So one of them is percentage of labor force unemployed for 15 weeks or longer. Another one is percentage of labor force who lost jobs or completed temporary work. Another is discouraged workers, or those who have stopped looking for work because they believe no jobs are available for them. Another is marginally attached workers, or those who would like and are able to work but have not looked for work recently. And then the last one is part-time workers who want to work full-time but cannot for economic reasons. And it's also called underemployment. I was aware of that underemployment one.
Man.
Just little things, yeah. It's
Right.
just just help understand what unemployment is and how these numbers get reported and stuff, man.
And one thing, not to draw it out here, but one thing that I would like to talk about is like being shelterless or homelessness and how
Oh,
that is increasing because of what's going on in the economy.
we talked about that. Maybe that's a it's about people show that we could do. Yeah, that's a big call out.
Yes, sir.
So let's pay some bills.
Yeah.
Shout out to TimeTrakGO. If you, as an employee especially, are looking for a better way for your paycheck to be more accurate, for your time and attendance to work better, if you have frustrations with your time, with your paycheck, you could be one of those folks looking for new jobs and being frustrated. But look, TimeTrakGO is the solution. TimeTrakGO turns an ordinary tablet into the state-of-the-art time clock in minutes. And with its mobile app and web portal, employees can clock in from anywhere. But wait, it gets better. TimeTrakGO also automates PTO tracking, right? See, vacation time is important. Simplifies time off requests. We want to be able to apply for, hey, I need this day off, and not be a big paperwork and I got to send it on the pigeon and all these things, right?
Yep.
Then that makes life easier for you and your team and your HR. So stop wasting time with these outdated systems and let your team know, your HR and your payroll people know, hey, there's a better thing out there. It's called TimeTrakGO.
And look, TimeTrakGO has a special offer for It's About Your Paycheck listeners. So right now, they are offering an additional 50% off your first 2 months. You heard that right, 50% off. So just head over, tell your HR team, your business decision maker, head over to www.timetrakgo.com/IAP. That's www.timetrakgo.com/IAP to start your 14-day free trial today and claim this special offer. Again, 50%. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So again, we're talking about negotiating your own salary here. This is a good one, right?
Yeah,
I think, and folks, I definitely, because I've sat in HR for most of my career, I'm always getting, oh, Brian, this, and what about, I'm on a new job and I want to get paid more. And how do I go? And I actually helped a buddy of mine frame his conversation, and it worked. Like I
wow.
coached them. Yeah, I coached them. It was a few years back, man. And I coached them on how to approach it. Excuse me. And what are the things to do? And I did definitely some of these. I don't know if I did all of them, but I definitely helped them through this. So I believe it's like 5. We'll keep it short and sweet. So the first one is prepare thoroughly. Okay. And I was helping a good friend recently with this one, and basically research what you are worth. There are a ton of tools right out there right now. Salary.com, pay scale. Those are the two I know off the top. There's probably a few more. Those are two good ones though. And if you need to invest into the service, like even if you only do it for a month or two, it's worth it because it unlocks more tools and switches and buttons that you can use to really get a good hold on what your salary should be, because it is linked to your role, the industry, the location, the head count. Glassdoor is another one. Oh, LinkedIn has a salary one too. I didn't know that.
Yep.
And it factors in your experience, your education, skill set, company size, all
Yes.
these things play into how much you should get paid as an employee. Okay. And some good ones even really put it granular down to the city you're in, which
Yeah.
is important because the states are big. And from city to city, the salaries can vary wildly. Florida is
Yeah.
a great example of that. Miami compares to some of the biggest cities in the world as far as salary.
Mhm.
Hodunk, who knows in Florida doesn't.
Hold up,
You
you
know,
know.
I don't want to disrespect no. I had names in mind, but I'm not going to disrespect them like that. But it's something you should know. It could
Mhm.
be fine for you if you want to live in that town. You
Yep.
just have to know you might not get Miami money in
Yeah.
Hodunk. Who knows?
That's true.
But sorry,
Need to
commotion in
go?
the house. No, no, no. We're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. Again, it may be fine for you if that's where you want to live. But see, this is good because you want to get top of you still want to be valued properly wherever
Yes,
you go.
sir.
So the
Yes,
tools are
sir.
good, the research is good. Number two is, what, did I miss something there? Oh, prepare thoroughly. Okay, know your value. Sorry, we're still on
Yeah.
number one. Got some more things here. Quantify your accomplishments. Prepare a list of your
Yes.
contributions to the company. Or if you're in a new hire situation, you're going to a new company, come ready to be like, no, I
Mhm.
can, I should get this because I've done X, Y, Z, right?
Yep.
And use specific metrics, especially in cases where you can, where you get the numbers, where you can like, oh, I improved things by 98%, or I reduced errors by 30%. People, oh, whoa, you start talking like that, people are like, oh, he
Yeah.
does know what he's doing. And then assesses timing and company performance. So choose the right moment. Difference. If you're a new hire, if you're getting a new job, then this timing doesn't apply. But if you're trying to do it while you're at your current job, choose the right moment ideally after a successful project, a
Mhm.
positive performance review, or when the company is doing well financially. Avoid busy periods or times of financial instability. The company just said, hey, we're putting a freeze and we got cuts and we need to budget. And that's a bad time to ask for more money. I know you may think it doesn't matter, but it is going to matter. And folks are going
Mhm.
to they're going to look at you like, didn't you just hear the memo? Something like that. And hey, if you didn't, and that's a different issue, but
Yeah.
try to be mindful of those things. If your company hasn't reported any bad news, do it quick
Yeah.
because you don't want to take your time and then the next day they report bad news. So, number two, build a strong business case. Okay. Same thing. Quantify your accomplishments. Show your work directly contributes to a company's
Yep.
profitability, efficiency, or compliance. Highlight any leadership roles or awards you might have won anywhere, right?
Yeah.
This is a good one. Frame it as a win.
Yep.
Position the raise as a mutual benefit, not just a personal request. But for example, by improving payroll accuracy and reducing errors by 30%, I've helped save the company thousands of dollars. And that's funny because I actually do that. I That's part of my when I need to negotiate. That's in my toolbox. I'm ready with that. Sometimes negotiating doesn't take long. You just counter offer, and I think you have some stats on this.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Wolf's going to share some good stuff there on new hiring because sometimes you just throw the number you want out and it happens, and you don't have to do any of
Mhm.
this negotiation. But when you're
Mhm.
at a company already and you feel like you've done the research on salary.com and you're like, dang, I could be making more, then you need to frame it away and do this. Okay. So number three is communicate confidently and professionally. That's a good one.
Yep.
It's
Sure
not
do.
right. It's not if you got all the good facts, but you're
Mhm.
pitching it really right. Like your body language is off and you're not using positive language and it's going to impact. It's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. Be calm, direct, confident, avoid sounding defensive or entitled. That's the one I tell people. Don't sound entitled. They don't need to
Yeah.
you need to raise, but you have to pitch why it's going to be important for them. So for example, based on my contributions and industry standards, I like to discuss an increase in my compensation. Boom.
Wow. Yep.
Simple, to the point, right? Be specific with your requests, state a precise salary figure or range based on your research and accomplishments. For example, given my increased responsibilities and performance, I believe a salary adjustment of $95,000 is fair. I saw another list, by the way, recently, and I think we just need to validate it. It was like the salary you need in every state to get by.
Oh, yeah.
But I just wanted to validate it because at the end of the post that I saw, they were trying to sell something. I was like, it could be. It doesn't mean the information is wrong. It just means it's worth double checking. Avoid personal reasons. I tell people this all the time, right? Keep the focus on business impact rather than personal financial needs.
Wait.
I've
So you're saying I shouldn't go into my boss's office saying Earth, Wind, and Fire, the reasons?
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
That's a good one. Well, man, that's a good one. Oh man, it was one of my good songs right now. I can see clearly now the rain is coming.
Yes, that's what.
Can see
Yes, sir.
all the obstacles
Yes.
in my way. I was like,
way.
oh man, it's a good one. It's on one of my playlists.
There you
We
go.
gotta talk about that. It's about people, and we're gonna talk about consciousness.
Yes. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, anywho, oh gosh, avoid this stuff because I need a raise because my rent increased. I've heard that. I need
Yep.
a raise because I'm having a new baby. I know it's so real to us, and
Yes.
and I get it. You do need more money, but guess what? If you're at the top of your scale for what you do, what if you go through salary.com and you're making what you should be, or you're already making over?
Yeah, exactly. And you're like,
Guess what? You ain't getting no raise, fool. Nah,
why
unless
not? Why not?
you would need a promotion to get you out
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation. That's a different show. It's just side hustle time at that point. You know what I mean? Or going ahead and work for yourself. Again, that's a whole nother deal. But avoid personal reasons. Okay. So the example here, they said the wrong way to say is I need a raise because my rent increased. The right way to say it is since taking on additional projects, I've increased team productivity by 15%, which supports the company's strategic goals. That's what you
That's
got
a
to
good
do.
one. Yep.
Number 4 is handling objections gracefully because you could get, if the answer is no, ask for specific feedback. Okay.
Yes.
Be ready for pushback. You more often than not, you're going to get pushback. Doesn't mean you
Mhm.
won't get it. You could just get the boss, the manager that pushes back by default, and then we'll research and consider all your information and talk to their
Yeah.
boss. And because I'm not, as a manager, unless I have total autonomy of the decision, which you got to be the owner of the damn company to have that. I'm going to say, let me look into it. I can't make any promises to you. I'm going to go to bat for you, but I don't know. Let me see. Great case. I love everything you've done, but let me
Mm-hmm.
see. Because it's not my money. It's not my budget.
Exactly.
I'm a soldier here, just like the rest of us. You hear Charlie? Yeah. Sorry, folks. My dog is bugging out in the background. Also, negotiate. Ooh, I like this one. I really like this one. Negotiate beyond salaries. Because what if they say no, and no is a no, and it's final? Counter with, okay, what about additional vacation time? What about flexible working arrangements? What about if you're not hybrid or more days home or something? Who knows? Some hybrid thing that works for you. What about professional development opportunities? That I negotiate going into jobs. Like, hey, am I continuing education is important? Is there going to be a budget for that?
Yep.
That's where that total reward comes in. So yeah, you may get only paid 50,000, but what if they covered another 10,000 in education that doesn't have to come out of your pocket?
Yep.
That's $10,000 you ain't got to spend to better your skill set. So that's money. You know what I mean? Folks don't. I had a job offer one time that it was not for profit, so the salary was lower, but they paid like $10,000 a year to your 401k, regardless, even if you didn't contribute. They were putting 10K. See, it's a lot of money. And and that was already 10 years ago, something like that. That was a lot of money. Still a lot of money. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? But look at that. If I'd taken that job 10 years ago, I'd have $100,000 just from what they gave me.
Shoot, I can use 10 stacks right now.
Heck yeah. But so that's more like things like that. professional development and performance-based bonuses. That's a good one too. I've seen folks do that. Or you can't raise my
Yeah.
base. What about a performance-based bonus if I hit my
Yeah.
numbers and this, that, and the third every quarter? Boom. That's actually how my buddy got his raises because he
Nice.
he got new quarterlies, and I was like, oh man, they bonused the heck out of him. It was like awesome. Yeah. Okay. Number 5, and pass it to Walt, is follow up and stay professional. Express gratitude regardless of the outcome. Thank your managers for the time that they took. Example, I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me, and I value your feedback you provided. I'll keep it in mind and keep working toward these better whatever. Document the discussion.
Yeah.
Don't, because one, managers are quick to forget.
Mhm.
Or what happens if your manager leaves and you got a new manager?
You know what the manager told me? Like directly to my face. She said, if it's not in an email or written down somewhere, it's not, you can't, basically to the point, it's not real or a fact
That's
if you
right.
don't have it.
That's right.
She said, yeah, I could have said it, but you don't have any proof.
That's right. That's right. It sounded like she was an asshole with it, right?
Yeah, she was.
Because you could say that nicely. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And look, perfect example. You can say something like, thanks for our conversation today. I'm looking forward to working toward goals we discussed for
Mhm.
my possible increase in raise. Boom, done. That's it. Little simple email. Because then you
Yep.
can be like, wait a minute, but I emailed you that day. It was on this. If you don't have the copy, I have the copy. Boom. Just simple as that. And just little something to keep in mind when with all of this. Approach it as a business conversation, not a confrontation. Don't go in there. I need my rent increase. Yo, I'm not taking those. Or you can't. You know what I mean? You can't. My wife wanted a Lexus. I had to buy a Lexus. My wife said she can divorce me if I don't make more money. Like
You might be with the wrong person, then, buddy.
that's a different conversation.
Yes.
Oh God, the heck is in my pockets here? Oh, okay. Confidence is key. If you don't advocate for yourself, no one else will.
That's
Gosh,
true.
that is the most important thing. If you don't advocate for yourself, no one else will.
Yeah.
That could be a little nugget
Mhm.
for the intro
Mhm.
to show. Be prepared to walk away or explore other options if you're undervalued. Yeah.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. And unfortunately, you know what I don't like though? Eh, When you resign, then it's, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe we could do that raise you asked for months ago. Is it because you didn't get a raise? Now we can do it. What is it about more money? We could like, what? What do
Mhm.
you mean? And it's like vendors too. When you leave the vendor, I just canceled something, all the financial fitness stuff, all the cancellations I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, but we value your, I'll give
Yeah.
you 40%. You did one
Well,
too, right?
Centra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Centra, like, we canceled it, and the first time they was like, "Oh, you can have it at 50% of the price," and I was like, "No, just continue on." And they were like, "What didn't you like? Let us type out what you didn't like." "Oh, you can have the product at 90% off." Like, what?
Really? The-
$4 a month?
At that point, you already know you've been over. This is not even a value product. If you could give it to me for 90% of what you were just charging me,
They
I
said for
definitely don't.
life, for
For
life.
they like we gave it a shot. ChatGPT's better. Sorry, but that's my point. That's my point. It's on the way out is when they give you
Mhm.
all these deals. Some of them I do take advantage of. Oh wait, yeah, I'll
Mhm.
keep it for 50% off for the next 3 months. That works. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just something like dang. Now
Mhm.
you wanna it's like breaking up with somebody. No, wait, I'll act better now. What?
Shawty.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I heard my daughter to say that to her girlfriend the other day. She was like, "Nah, shorty. Nah, shorty." She said, "Nah, shorty." It was polite and nice. It
Oh,
wasn't nothing
okay.
mean, but she's hilarious sometimes. Okay, yo, take it away, sir.
Look, mine's gonna be short and sweet. I just have some stats for you. Brian covered the kind of the
Me.
strategy for it
Yeah.
of it. And so, look, what are the negotiation rates? So, a Glassdoor survey found that only 46% of professionals negotiated their most recent salary. 54% did not. Over half did not do any negotiation or anything. They were just like, hey, okay, I'll take it. And look, that may be because they needed the job because of how the current economic landscape is right now. So, look, when it comes to gender, it says that men and women equally are likely to negotiate. So 46% for both groups. negotiating their most recent salary. Now, age is a factor, right? So
Really?
younger people entering the workforce between the ages of 21 to 25 are less likely to negotiate, with only 27% negotiating their most recent salary, while
Wow.
those between the ages of 26 to 29 increase to 44%. And the reason I think that's like a 17% increase, right? I think the reason that there's an increase with that next age gap or age group is because when you're 21, 25, you're just graduating
Yep.
college and just
Yep.
or you just got that certificate
First,
or
second
whatever,
job. Yep.
and it's your first job. So you're just like, okay, I just need to get my foot in the door.
Mhm.
And boom, when you're 26, 28, 29, whatever, or 26, 27, 28, 29, and then you're in that age gap, then you're like more confident in your skills. Well, I know what I'm doing. I have more confidence in myself. And that may be what it is, right? Look, there's a career builder study that said that 73% of employers in the US expect candidates to negotiate salary on the first initial job offer.
That's a good one. We did not take advantage of that because me and you talking about all that at the time. We were
Yeah.
like, okay.
Look, I have a story about that. I had moved to Seattle or whatever for a little bit. And I was trying to get a job through a temp agency because something else fell through. So I was trying to hurry up and scramble and get a job through a temp
Yo.
agency. And I had a little bit of money saved, so I was okay. And I went to the temp agency. I think it was Robert Half that I went
Mhm.
to.
Big.
And
Yep.
they were telling me, how much do you want to get paid? And I was like, oh, I think at that time it was like early 2000s. And I was just like, okay, maybe like 40,000, that 40,000, and then they told me, "For somebody with your experience, let me look at your resume. Somebody with your experience, you should at least put $60,000." And I was like, "What?"
Look at that.
Because I wasn't confident in
Mhm.
myself at
Yep.
that time, even though by that time I had almost 10 years of
And
payroll
oh
experience.
gosh, yeah, veteran at that point.
So, look, when you're going into these initial offers and you're getting these interviews and these offers submitted to you, negotiate.
Yep.
Worst they can do is say no.
That's it. That's
So
it.
look, and then reasons for not negotiating, Brian's touched on a lot of these because one of the feelings is that you're uncomfortable asking for more money and you fear that the employer won't hire you or you don't want to appear greedy.
No.
And the last
Yeah.
one, just a lack of confidence.
I
But
can connect with all these things. None of them are true.
okay, so what are the negotiation outcomes? So those who negotiate often increase their starting salaries, with some studies showing an average increase of $5,000.
Easy. Easy. Because if you could pay me what you paying, you could easily pay me 5 more.
Yes, yes. So look, and then the last thing I have is HR Dive found that salary negotiation was the most common among certain industries. So advertising,
Oh,
marketing, and tech professionals. So at 67, 62, and 56% respectively.
that's a great call. Wow. Yeah, makes sense too.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, we can all negotiate, man.
Yeah.
People, it took me the longest to figure that out because of the reasons that it says there. Like, it's because they still want to hire you. Unless you make a thing of it, they're still going to be like, hey, you're hired. We good? We good? Cool. We good. You know what I mean? So you
Mhm.
can't be like, oh man, they're gonna think a certain way. No, they're gonna think you're good. So that it reconfirms that they're picking the right person.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you're speaking up, you're standing up because you're gonna take that energy to the
Yep.
job.
Yes, bro.
And hey, look, depending on the answer, maybe folks will say, hey, not right now, but if you do X, Y, Z, if they
Mhm.
give you any contingencies in the offer, make them put it in writing in the offer letter.
Yes, bro.
Because if not, just like Walt said, that shit ain't written down, it ain't real.
No.
They'd be like, "What? What
It's
fake
not
news
the
is
truth.
that?"
It's not a
Yeah,
fact.
not a fact. But also, not to be just funny about it, but also if the leaders change.
Yes, bro. Yeah, because look, it happens a lot. Like your manager suddenly gets a job offer of a lifetime, and
Yeah.
they promise you, like, hey, next quarter or next year, I got you.
Yep.
I got you. I promise you, it's in the budget. And
Yep.
then they leave, and somebody else comes in, and even if you have that communication in writing, the other person comes in, and says, that was them. I need to see you. I need to see your work for myself, and this and that. And
Mhm.
I've seen some of that happen. It's even happened to me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. No doubt. I'm telling you, my classic one was I had a manager tell me one year, "You had a good year, you didn't have a great year."
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" But
Yeah.
because I wasn't ready with
Tim.
all these things that we just like in that performance review, I should have been ready
Mhm.
with all these things. And he or she would have been like, "Oh, I can't argue to damn, you did have a great year, but I don't even remember. You remembered." Yeah, man. So our question of the day that Walt has posed, and it's funny because we talked about it a little bit. I didn't see the
Yeah.
question of the day.
Yeah.
Is putting your resignation in a valid negotiation tactic? Really good question.
This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
Is debatable because I had a boss that taught me a counter offer when you resign is not a good counter offer. They're gonna hold you to this higher standard, like with scrutiny. Just like really be like, oh, I gave you all that extra money when you was about to leave us, so you need to be acting
Mhm.
right and doing more and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It just changes the dynamic where you might have a good one. So for that, I don't take counters.
Okay.
I think it's flattering. I think thank you, but at that point, I already made my decision.
Yeah, man. Look, I think it depends on
Depends, yeah.
the situation and the company that you work for. And for you, it may be a valid tactic, but just know that it may not work out.
Provided you willing to lose that job,
You're like, hey,
because they could be like, all right, peace.
all right.
And then what? They
Yep.
didn't counter, and
Yep.
wow, ooh, dang,
Yeah.
that didn't mean I did. You know,
Yep.
if you don't have FU money, you can't do stuff like that. Got to have that 6 months in reserve. If you're with a partner, you got to tell them this is a tactic I'm gonna use. Do you got my back if they don't if they call my bluff?
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you got a family and you live paycheck to paycheck, this is not a good tactic. You need to have the
Yeah.
savings to carry you to the next job if you're just calling bluffs.
Yeah.
I had a person that did this and thought that I was going to counter with more money. And I was like, hey, have a good luck. Awesome. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
They actually showed me the money that they were getting. And I was like, oh, you're worth more. You should get more. When you change job, you should actually get 15% raise. And the look in their face when I said that, I knew they were full of shit about the offer.
Wow.
And I was, yep.
Oh, you got a 50-cent raise.
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy. It was
Yeah.
like, why would you even leave for that?
Yeah,
But
bro.
so you got
bro.
it could be, to your point, it could be, but you have to be ready for the bluff. You got to be ready if they call you bluff.
Yeah, you got to risk it to get the biscuit or the ticket,
to.
whatever.
Scared money don't make money.
Yes, sir.
So another great show, man. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
And to the next time, folks, we love you.
Peace.
Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you for being part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.